Well, let me tell you what I'm doing today. I'm not sure why, but I will. I'm on old Route 66 right now, and I'm headed toward the California desert. One reason is because I very seldom get this old Mercedes out of the garage anymore. The other reason is that it was exactly 30 years ago today, and a couple hours, so 30 years and a few hours, got a few hours to go yet, that Sam Kinison was driving through the California desert on the way to Laughlin to play a sold-out show on this date 30 years ago. And that is the trip that he lost his life. He was in his white Trans Am, and a 17-year-old kid who had been drinking passed a car and entered Sam's lane to pass the car and ran into Sam Kinison head on. And that was just south of Laughlin, Nevada. So I'm going to take old Route 66 as far as I can, and then I've got to jump on the freeway for a minute. And one thing about this is that there's Sam Kinison was on US 95, and there are two 95s there, and most people aren't aware of this, and they mistake State Road 95 for US 95. Sam Kinison was on US 95, and that's according to the police reports. Hang on a minute here. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm going to speed up a little bit. But that's according to the police report and to the autopsy report. And it would make sense because California 95 runs through downtown, if you want to call it downtown, Needles. US 95 is the direct route to Laughlin. And it's quite desolate, as you'll see when we get there. But anyway, I'll have a little more later on and as we go along here. Okay, still on old Route 66. This is one of the things you find. We're in between Kingman, Arizona and Oatman, Arizona. And Oatman was a mining town, and when the mines went bust, the miners, I don't know why this guy just doesn't go around, but anyway, the miners let the donkeys go, just released them. And so very often on the way to Oatman or driving down Route 66 here, you find these donkeys and people feed them, and of course that's why they come up to the cars and all that kind of stuff. But luckily this is a comfortable car because I may be spending the night here. So, one other thing, I always liked Sam Kinison. I saw him live 3 or 4 times in Seattle, where I used to live, and I think somewhere else too, maybe in California somewhere, or something like that. And so one night, a good buddy of mine from California, Joe, we decided to, we were both kind of rockers and all that kind of stuff, and so we decided to go down to Sunset Strip one night in LA, and we were going to go hang out at some of the rock clubs, Gazzari's and the Whiskey and places like that. And if I remember right, and that's a big if, of course, A, because this was whatever, like 35 years ago, and B, I believe we had a beverage or 20, and I believe we were at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, which was a known hangout of Sam Kinison, and so there was like a, some deal was going on or whatever, and my buddy Joe and I looked around, and sure enough, there was Sam Kinison. And they had a room or an area upstairs there that I think it was a VIP area, I don't know. And we happened to be standing by the stairway, and Sam Kinison came walking right past us. And what do you say? I mean, I remarked something. Something about how funny I thought he was, or I saw him live several. I don't remember what. And my buddy Joe, I think, said something to him, and Sam had that kind of wry smile, and he walked past us and shook our hands, and we were slapping him on the back and everything like that, and he's like, "Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate that." Stuff like that. Just, nothing big, but definitely a real nice guy. And so that was my tangential first-hand experience with Sam Kinison. So, but anyway, I better put both hands on the wheel here, and then there'll be more later. Okay, thought I'd just give you a little shot. This is Oatman. This is the. It's not a ghost town because people still live here, but this is the town I was talking about before, and I thought I'd just give you a little view coming into this town. As you saw, Route 66 to this point is pretty curvy, and the cliffs are straight down, sometimes a couple of 100 feet. And yeah, so you're not going to get here fast, and because of stuff like this, and it's Sunday, so you're not going to get through Oatman fast. Guys like this guy don't know what to do or where he's going, or so it takes a while too. There's some more donkeys. Oh, and up there, let me put this up so you can see. Okay, so we're going to be sitting here for a few minutes because on the weekends they put together what is their version of an Old West gunfight. You've got volunteers that live right here in town, and so they, do that every weekend, and you're not gonna get through here quickly when the gun show lets out, because you've got a whole line of cars in front of you. So there it is, and more later. Okay guys, we are on the off-ramp from I-40, which is right there, and we are going to go north now on US 95, not State Road 95, US 95. And Sam Kinison came from right there along here and right up US 95 here, 4 miles, and that's where the accident happened, so that's where we're going. Hopefully you can hear me. We're a half a mile away, and Sam Kinison was a newlywed, and according to what was said was that the 17-year-old Pearson passed another car and came into Sam's lane. Right here. I'm going to try to get way off the road here for a minute. It looks like somebody else has been here recently. People really move on this section of highway. As you can see, it's totally desolate out here. So, let me shut my car off. So 30 years ago and just a couple of hours, Sam Kinison came through here in his white Trans Am, and at this point is where he met the car that was in his lane. Sam Kinison, according to police reports, had slowed down to 15 miles an hour and got off the road, I don't know as far as I am right now, but did everything to avoid the accident, according to reports and apparently from his wife, I would guess. And the car hit him here, and yeah, so I'm going to get out here a minute. So this is the direction from which he came. Where my car is sitting is approximately authorities, and this is the direction that the guy who hit him was coming. Now you can see that right there? Did you see that? That's how dangerous this road is. Hopefully I caught that. It's so bright out here I can't really see in my screen. But yeah, that was a totally unsafe pass by that motorcycle with a truck coming the opposite way. And that's basically what happened to Sam, except it resulted in an accident. But you can see how fast people drive along here. Now here's another guy passing right here. And that he is passing. That's a solid yellow line that he passed against right there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a solid yellow line, and there should be no passing here. But I've been standing here for what, a minute, and we've seen it twice. So unfortunately, what happened to Sam Kinison is not that unusual. Following Sam Kinison's Trans Am was, I believe, a van with his opening act and with his brother, and they witnessed the accident. And Sam Kinison supposedly said, as the traffic was coming along, something to the effect of, "He's got to see me, right?" And I mean, they just moved along here. But when they got Sam Kinison out of the car, apparently he had a conversation with some unseen entity, and about the fact he didn't want to die. And this is all documented. You can get this. It's all still all over the internet, and a lot of this stuff is backed up and corroborated by police and coroner's reports, if you really want to get into it. But he said something to the effect that he didn't want to die, and something to the effect of, "But why?" And then like, okay, and just passed away then. So I'm going to continue heading north here toward Laughlin. He was supposed to play, from what I've read, the Riverside Resort. So I'm going to head toward Laughlin the way that, had he not gotten in an accident, that Sam Kinison would have driven. And I came here a couple hours early because it's late afternoon right now, and the accident happened at night. And you wouldn't be, if I came here in the evening, unless it was a full moon and no clouds, you wouldn't be able to see anything out here. So that's why I'm a couple hours early. So I hope this was interesting. And was Sam Kinison vulgar? Yeah, he could be. Was he notorious and had certain groups that hated him? Yeah, that's true. Was he a funny comedian? You bet he was. One of the most hilarious guys I've ever heard in my life. That's why I went and saw him 3 or 4 times. So anyway, it happened 30 years ago today. One quick addendum. Hopefully you can hear me. It's kind of windy out here. There's, on the internet, it says that it's disputed as far as the accident happening 3 miles from I-40 or 4 miles. I've never seen any dispute about it. The hospital I guess morgue report and the police report indicate that, at least the copies that I've seen indicate that it was 4 miles. And so any official documentation that I've ever seen says 4 miles, not 3, and I have no idea where some people are saying, well, it was either 3 or 4 miles. You know, and it was a straightaway because the Kinisons saw that guy coming 4 ways. Enough to, because the speed limit here is, I don't know, 55, 65. And they saw him coming from a far enough distance that Sam Kinison reportedly said, he's got to see me, right? So, and you saw the straightaway that we were on. It was long enough that some idiots think it's okay to pass there. And clearly it's not, because people have died on that straightaway. See that Dodge Durango right there? About 1/8 of a mile ahead of me. You see the road right now? Yep, double yellow line, he just passed me. People never learn. Okay guys, that's Laughlin, Nevada right there. On the other side of the river, which you can't really see the river, but that's Bullhead City, Arizona. And Sam Kinison was, from what I've read anyway, Sam Kinison was supposed to play the first hotel to the right there, which is the Riverside. And so, yep, that's what it looks like. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.
You know, I know the film crew could give this kid a sandwich. You know the kid's not out there, you know, filming a letter from home with a Betamax, huh? You know there's a director 5 feet away going, don't feed him yet! Get that sandwich out of here! It doesn't work unless he looks hungry! Well, I'm not trying to make fun of world hunger. Matter of fact, I think I have the answer, because I spent a lot of time working it out. And if you want to stop world hunger, stop sending them food. Don't send these people another bite, folks. You want to send them something, you want to help, send them U-Hauls. Send them U-Hauls, some luggage, and send them a guy out there that goes, hey, you know, we've been driving out here every day with your food for like the last, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And we were driving out here today across the desert, and it occurred to us there wouldn't be world hunger if you people would live with a food